Hey, welcome to Pete's Radio World. I have here a Knight model 730, a tuner amplifier that I purchased on eBay. This is a voiceover recording. There's some of the packing there. I'm showing. I already had disassembled it. I didn't take any pictures. Well, I started disassembling it. I didn't take no pictures or video until I already had the front off it. So that's the instruction manual I got with the unit right there. The dial plastic fell off it during shipping. I cleaned I practiced on cleaning the front faceplate with, I put distilled water on it. That right there, I used some Brasso, I believe, on it right there. And tried cleaning it, but I cleaned it with some distilled water. I had some wax. I was using different cleaners in the garage, trying to clean the front faceplate off, and it turned out a lot better. It was pretty nasty looking. It's got a dent in it right there that was in it. It's still in there. I didn't try to take it out. You can see the marks on it. A lot of that stuff, I got most of it out, but some of it's still in there. I believe this was made in 56 or 57. It is in two different catalogs on Allied catalog on YouTube. It's in a 1957 catalog. I found it twice. In a 1956 catalog, I found it in there. This model 730. This is a plastic lens that it fell off during shipping, and it's painted on the other side. So you have to be careful when you clean it on the painted side that you don't. It's either etched. I don't think it's etched. It's painted. You don't take it off. This is the cabinet. It's actually in pretty good shape for how old as this unit is. It does have some dents in the corners here. You can see the corner and some paint loss on it. I haven't tried straightening it yet or did anything with it. Right now, the cabinet's still in the garage. You can see the corners on it. But overall, for old as this is, the cabinet survived pretty good. I really like the look of it without the cabinet on it. But you can see how nice the original paint is on it. Mostly is on it, In the corners there's some paint loss where it's bent up. This is the front of it right here. That would be on the model 730. This was available with a cabinet and without a cabinet. From Allied Radio, Knight. This is a Knight. This is a mono unit. This is not stereo. It's a 12 tube, 10 watt amplifier. It runs two 6V6s in it. But yeah, I did a restoration to it. I'm a novice. I'm not an expert at any of this stuff, but I getting more into it. I've learned a lot from YouTube. I always had a real interest in electronics. But yeah, you can see the bend on the bottom of that cabinet and the little dent on the faceplate by the AM there. I still have that in there. I got the lens. I had to reglue that lens in there, but one of the tubes got broken. One of the 6V6s got broken. So I had to order another 6V6. I had to purchase one. I think I did have one. Actually, I found. But anyways, I purchased a couple used 6V6s, and I end up putting it in there. And but I'm taking a look at this is some of the packing there, and so that's all I'll say about that. This is how it was delivered here, and the packing stuff, some of the packing. I found one of the screws in the bottom there, and boy, I was happy with that. I think I was still missing one screw on the side. But here's the unit right here. The cord was cut on it. What he said it was. The dial string was broke. He said the dial turned, but it didn't move. The screws all seem to be brass. But Those little metal things that I show here, there's a dial string there, what's left of it. I did restring it. And you can see the broken 6V6 back there. This is a 12 tube unit. You can see the rust down there I'm talking about. The rust on the potentiometer, the on and off volume. Then there's a little bit on the chassis. It's not perfect, this unit, but I think it's really in really good shape for the year that it is, and the life that it's been thrown at it. You can see the rust down there on the potentiometer. I did clean that off, and I put some silver paint on it. And there was a little bit on the chassis there underneath the light that I cleaned up, and I just put a little paint on it. And there's one of the broken 6V6 tubes. I'm just looking over the cabinet right now. This is a pretty fun to work on, that's for sure. The knobs had a lot of the fungi growing in them, the white fungi. So I got those cleaned out pretty good. Cleaned up real good. There's a cord the cord was cut off it. So you really don't know what you're getting into. But those are the spacers that were on the front of the brass faceplate. They actually sat on there the other way, where the flat part where I got them against the cabinet. I believe that I got them flipped around the other way. I don't think they were that way. The wide part that I got against the cabinet actually faces the brass part, as far as what I know, because it holds the thing better. It's got more of a flat surface for that front faceplate to sit on. Flip the other way. Then there's a small spacer that I found that I didn't know where it goes. Then it finally hit me. There's 3 screws that hold the front on, and it goes right on the bottom. There's a spacer that holds that. That's the same thickness as those 2 plates on the side that holds that brass faceplate away from that front of the unit. You can see the hole right there in the center. That's where that the screw would come through, and that little round spacer. Spacers there. And like I say, those plates, those silver plates on the side actually flip the other way. So the wide part is not against the body, it's against the brass plate. It holds it a lot better that way. I didn't know which way they went, but I don't think that they were that way from the factory. I think they were the way I put them back in there, where the wide part is facing the brass plate. It just holds it better. They tend to suck in a little bit different. You can see the fungi on the knob there when I picked it up. I'm spinning it around here a little bit, looking at the back. Looking it over. I really like I mentioned it in some of my other videos. I really like the painted black chassis on this. It's it's protected pretty good. It's got scratches in that. This is not in mint condition by no means, but you can see the back here. Like I said, this is a mono unit. You can run a 4 ohm, 8 ohm, or 16 ohm speaker. It's got an auxiliary input, and it's got input for a phonograph on it right there. Allied Radio Corporation. This is, from what I know, this is made by Bogen, David Bogen. In that owner's manual, instruction manual, sitting right there that I got with the unit, there's a schematic in there, and on that schematic, on the bottom, it says David Bogen. Where they write in the little box down there, who written, the company that writes it up in that. So, Yeah, that faceplate looked a lot worse when I first opened up that box. I don't have a tube tester yet. I had them before and I sold them, but now that I'm getting into fixing things, I never checked the tubes. I only replaced the 6v6, and this unit's working. It's working really good. I got it all recapped. I put a new filter cap in it, all the capacitors. I didn't replace any ceramic disc in there, but I replaced, there's quite a few electrolytics in there, and the main filter cap, and there's some other capacitors. Now there's the model that's on the back of it there. You can see the models that are etched into the thing there. What was nice about that faceplate, what was nice about that brass faceplate is the lettering wasn't silk screened on there. It was engraved in there, then painted on the inside. So when you get those like that, you can really scrub them, without taking that paint too easily out of those grooves. This is the bottom of the unit right here. Hey, welcome to Pete's Radio World. I have here the instruction manual that I received when I bought the UNI-FI Tuner-Amplifier off of eBay. I don't know if this instruction manual is original to this unit or not, but I'm seeing slight differences between what the catalog says and these model numbers and that, and actually the layout of the amplifier too. As you see on the front of this thing where it says night, AM, FM, AM in the center, mine just says night. And my volume knob, which is on that picture, is on the left-hand side. Mine is actually where the selector is on the right-hand side. The second one in on the right-hand side. And the selector switch is all the way to the end. The tuning's in the same spot. And also on mine, if you look at that power transformer on the left-hand side, my power transformer is on the right-hand side. The tuning, instead of being on the right-hand side, is how that picture shows, mine's on the left-hand side. The filter capacitor on the left-hand side is opposite too. It's sitting on the other side. So everything's kind of switched around. And mine has a cover. This is not showing a cover on the tuning capacitor. Mine's got a black cover on it. Some of the other pictures that I've seen, and mine's open on the bottom of the chassis. Some of the other pictures I've seen on this, like this one, it's open on the top and covered on the bottom, just opposite of what mine is. But you can see these come in two different models. They came available with a cabinet and without a cabinet. The chassis model, according to this front of this thing, is the 94SX730. On the back of my unit, it says 94SZ730 on the back of mine. I have a cabinet with mine. And according to this thing here, the cabinet model stock number is 94SZ731. So there is differences in these units. Now on the inside, I got a picture here that I'm going to show. On the inside of this instruction manual, shows a picture of another picture of the exact unit that I have, just a drawn out picture of the exact unit that I have, how mine is laid out. My front dials are laid out where the knobs are. And this particular picture here, let me back up here. This is how mine is laid out right here. This is in the instruction manual that's inside of the... And this is inside of the instruction manual. This is how mine's laid out. The selector on the left-hand side, the bass, the treble, the volume, the tuning, and also the loudness. On and off loudness between the tuning and volume. The other one's on the other end. You can see it right here in this picture where the loudness is at. So there's different variations that I'm finding on these models. So it's pretty interesting, the different variations. So, but you can see the one I have. This picture here came off the front of the UNI-FI tuner-amplifier instructions that I received with the unit. Like I said, I don't know if I said this, but I don't know if this is the original that came with my unit or not. And also, this next picture here that I'm going to show is a Sam's Photo Fact that I purchased on eBay. And everything is it's flipped in this one too. The loudness being on the other side, the volume being, instead of being on the left side, the selector and the volume switched around. So yeah, there's different variations. I don't know, when the changes were made or nothing, but there are definitely different variations out there. I don't think the unit's that common, that's for sure. So I'm going to show some pictures now of the unit when I first bought it. These are pictures of the unit, just a little slideshow of some of the photos I took outside in the garage area when I had purchased it. Towards the end here, there's going to be some pictures with the bottom off it that I believe they were taken in my basement when I started to work on it. You can see some of the internal components underneath the bottom of it. I replaced a lot of stuff, the cord, dial string. I put resistors in there. Changed quite a few resistors, all the electrolytics, all the capacitors except the ceramic disc, the filter capacitor. Did a lot of work to it. Here's some more footage I found of the unit. I'm examining the bottom of it there. I seen those holes in it and I thought they were missing the feet or something, but I don't know, they're just holes in there. The feet are those felt pads right there. There's actually some felt on it yet. Yeah, it's used. Got some scratches and wear and tear, and I'm thinking it's got a lot of ceramic disc in there. That's what I was saying, but it had a lot of capacitors in the bottom. Here's just a picture of the back of it, a little video of the back that I shot of it. I'm looking it over.